Hello students, today let's start a new chapter which is thermodynamics. Means in the previous chapter we have studied about the thermal properties of matter. Means matter we have which types of properties, like it have transfer of heat, change of states, and also radiative property like black body radiation. So we have studied about all types of properties which matter can possess, and in liquid, solid and gaseous state what will be specific heat, how can heat transfer takes place. So all these things we have discussed already, expansions we have discussed. So in the field of thermodynamics, it deals with the conversion of thermal energy into other types of energy. Means it is application of thermal energy, and here by using thermal energy we can operate some devices. We can get other types of energy with the help of, like we use refrigerator, we use steam engine, means or simple other engines. Means we are converting thermal energy into mechanical energy here. So that's why as means here the application of thermal energy is we will study that, and also means thermodynamics deals with the conversion of thermal energy into various types of energy according to our need. So to start thermodynamics, first the first thing is here the some definitions of different types I will always discuss with you. So first is what is thermodynamic system. So as you know, the system is what? System is collection of atoms, molecules or ions. So thermodynamic system is also that when means it is the collection of a large number of particles, means a large number of atoms, molecules or ions which can means, and that is known as thermodynamic system. And what is thermodynamic equilibrium? So thermodynamic equilibrium means some properties will be constant during time, means with time they will not change, then they will say to be, means they will say that means we can say that simple thermodynamic systems are in equilibrium state. So if in any system the macroscopic variables like pressure, volume, temperature, mass, composition, etc. are not changing, means their value is not changing with the change in time, then we can say that the system is in thermodynamic equilibrium. So I think what is thermodynamic system and thermodynamic equilibrium, it is now clear to you. As you know that what is process. So in the process there is some work from outside, or some work is done on the system or by the system. Like there are two types of processes: isothermal process, adiabatic process. So what is isothermal process? In case of isothermal process, suppose that this is a vessel in which thermal energy is contained, and this is its surrounding. So if it will allow its excess thermal energy to supply the surrounding until its temperature will be constant. As you know that heat, if there is temperature difference, then heat will be transferred from colder body to hotter body to colder body until its temperature becomes constant. So means that here temperature will be constant. Ultimately temperature will be constant. So in isothermal process temperature is constant, and also here the exchange of heat energy takes place with the system and surrounding. Second process is adiabatic process. In adiabatic process there is no transfer of heat from the system to the surroundings. So if we will use some insulated device to coat for the coating of these types of vessel, then that insulated device will resist the motion of flow of thermal energy from to the surrounding. So here in this case no heat energy will be transferred to the surrounding, means Q will be delta Q, change in heat energy will be 0 here. So in this case temperatures of system and surrounding will be different, but here one quantity later I will tell you, entropy according about that I will tell you, that will be constant in this process. So in adiabatic process, simple no transfer of heat between surrounding and system takes place. So I think process is clear to you. Two types of processes. So first, to start anything, let's study about the definition of temperature, which I have told you in the chapter thermal properties of matter, that I will tell you in the chapter of thermodynamics. So in thermodynamics there are three basic laws, which are first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, and third law of thermodynamics. So after these three laws, it was a new law will also discovered, which should be called fourth law of thermodynamics. But since this law tells us the definition of temperature, and as you know that temperature and heat is the basic property in the field of thermal physics or thermodynamics. So due to that, its name is zeroth law of thermodynamics. So what is zeroth law of thermodynamics? Zeroth law of thermodynamics tells us that suppose that there are three systems which are in thermal equilibrium. Suppose this system is A, this is B, this is C. These three are in thermal equilibrium. Then means if A is in thermal equilibrium with B, B is in thermal equilibrium with C, then definitely C will be in thermal equilibrium with A. Means this law tells us that if one system is in equilibrium with other system, and that other system will be equilibrium with the another system, then there will be a common equilibrium relation between the first and last system will be established automatically. And this is the law of thermodynamics, zeroth law of thermodynamics. In simple, it tells us about that the macroscopic properties means here can be a macroscopic property which will be constant in all these systems. So if we are talking about the thermodynamics, and after observation it is observed that here quantity temperature is constant in all the systems. Means two systems are said to be in thermal equilibrium if their temperature is same, or simply their temperature is constant. So if temperature of A and B are same, then they can be say that they are in thermal equilibrium. Similarly, if temperature of B and C are same, then they can be said to be in thermal equilibrium. Similarly, automatically the C will be in thermal equilibrium with A, means temperature of C will be automatically equal to A. So this tells us the property of temperature, means temperature is a fundamental property of matter which tells us that whether the systems are in thermal equilibrium or not. Means if temperature is changing, then system will not be in thermal equilibrium. If temperature will be constant for the systems, then that system will be said to be in thermal equilibrium. So I think the definition of temperature is now clear to you. Means temperature is very fundamental property, basic property of the matter, which allow us to know, which tells us to know about that whether the system are in thermal equilibrium or not. Means in thermal equilibrium there will be a common property between the systems, that is the temperature. So I think definition of temperature is now clear to you. So this law tells us the definition of temperature, or what is temperature. So temperature is that quantity which is always constant when the systems are in thermal equilibrium. So I think this is clear to you. So the next concept is the concept of heat, internal energy and work. Some of the primary concept first let's see. Means these are the basic concept. First I told you about the definition of temperature with the help of law of thermodynamics, which was the zeroth law of thermodynamics, and what is process, what is systems, and how we can say that when system is in equilibrium state or when it is not. Means when the temperature of two system will be constant, then they will said to be in thermal equilibrium. Suppose that if we will heat our one hand, one palm, and one is at different temperature, means this is not getting any heat, and now we join it together. Then after some time we feel that when we joined, then that time we feel that this hand is warmer than this, and even this is feeling colder, and this is feeling warmer. But after some time we are feeling normal, means we are feeling that both hands are same warm or cold. Means simple, as you know that here temperature difference, due to temperature difference, heat from this hotter body is transferred to this colder body, and ultimately temperature becomes constant, and this time we can say that our both hands are in thermal equilibrium. So simple thermal equilibrium, in thermal equilibrium temperature of the systems are constant. So I think this is simple, clear to you. Now what is heat? So as you know that about heat in the last topic also, heat is simple a form of energy which arises due to change in temperature. Means if anywhere will be change in temperature, then some energy will be transferred from the higher temperature body to lower temperature body automatically, and that energy is known as heat energy. Means heat is nothing but it is a form of energy which is transferred from hotter body to colder body when there is change in temperature occur. So definitely if anywhere there will be change in temperature will occur, then heat will be definitely there. In other way we can say that temperature is more fundamental than heat. Means if anywhere temperature changes takes place, then there will be the concept of heat will arise. So I think the concept of heat is simple, clear to you. Next concept is concept of internal energy. So what is internal energy? Internal energy is also types of thermal energy which arises due to molecular motion or molecular orientation. Means if the system is composed of molecules or atoms, you have known. So if molecules are in motion, then due to their motion they will carry some energy with them, and that energy is called kinetic internal energy. And if they are at rest, means due to their configuration they will have some potential energy. So we can say that they have some internal potential energy. So simple, internal energy is the property of initial property of the any body or any system. Means if system is in motion or system is in is at rest, means simple, or means due to its molecular orientation and due to its molecular motion there can be that means they will possess some energy. As you know that if any system is in motion, then there will be kinetic energy. If it is at rest, then due to its orientation there will be some potential energy. So in case of thermal system it is known as internal energy, or in any types of system it is known as internal energy. Means body always possesses some type internal energy. So I think what is the concept of internal energy, that is clear to you. Then if total internal energy we have to derive, then that will be, suppose that molecules have both types of motion like in real gas. Means if molecules are in motion, so if their speed is not very much, then definitely they will carry some kinetic energy with them, and also due to their rotation they will carry some potential energy. So we can write that this total internal energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. This energy will arise due to molecular motion. This energy will arise due to orientation of molecules. So I think internal energy, concept of internal energy is clear to you. Also internal energy depends on orientation and temperature, but it doesn't depend on the factor which is like change of state. Means internal energy does not depend on that factor. For real gas, actually first for ideal gas, as you know that in case of ideal gas there is only the molecules of gases and other any matter has only kinetic energy. Means that molecule will be continuous will be continually in motion, and with the help of kinetic theory we can easily understand that also. Means for the gases, for the other matters, if kinetic theory of gases are followed, then in that we can means for ideal gas, kinetic theory of gases are followed, and in that we assume that the gas molecules are not exerting any types of intermolecular forces on each other, or they will not lose their energy while bounding, while colliding with the walls of the any vessel in which they are containing. Means there will be a pure perfectly elastic collision between molecules. Means there will be only change in direction takes place, and also they do the Brownian motion, means irregular motion and random motion. So due to that random motion, they will always change their direction with the elastic collision between molecules and between the molecule and wall, and they will change their direction continuously. Means they will be always in motion, they will not be at rest. So the concept of molecular orientation will not be in case of ideal gas, perfect gas, means that quantity will be zero in case of perfect gas. Only the total internal energy will be obtained by the molecular motion, because molecules will be always in motion in the case of ideal gas. So here is U equal to UK in case of ideal gas. But if we see the case of real gas, then in the real way, if two molecules are colliding, then definitely they will lose their some energy, and because the collision is not the perfectly elastic collision, and also if they will collide with the walls of the container, they will again lose its energy. Means simple, there will be some orientation and there will be some kinetic energy also. Means in the case of real gas, there will be orientation of molecules as well as there will be molecular motion. So we will get both types of energies in the case of real gas, but in case of ideal gas we will get only kinetic internal energy. So I think this is clear to you. Now again the internal energy can be changed, means can increase or decrease with the help of two factors. Means while we change temperature of the system, then internal energy will change, and if we change pressure of the system, then it will also change. Suppose that if we are providing heat to any system, suppose this is A, this is B, these are in thermal equilibrium, and now we are providing some heat energy to A, then definitely if there will be it will get heated, then its temperature will change. So there will be transfer of heat from this system to system B. So if there is transfer of energy from A to B, then internal energy of system B will increase here. Due to change in temperature, internal energy will increase. So I think this is simple, clear to you. If we will change temperature, then internal energy of system will be changed. Similarly, if we will decrease the temperature of this system A, then there will be transfer of heat from B to A, means that internal energy of system B will decrease in that case. So with the change in temperature, internal energy also changes. Similarly, we can see that if we will use some piston to compress the gas, so if the gas will be compressed, then due to compression the molecular orientation will be increased in that case. So this energy will be decreased, but the potential energy will be increased, and means internal energy is also changed on the pressure component. So if we will change temperature and pressure of the system, then its internal energy will also change accordingly to it. So I think the concept of heat and internal energy is now clear to you. What is heat, concept of heat, and what is concept of internal energy. So the next topic is thermodynamic state of variables and equation of state. So first, what is thermodynamic state of variables? The variables which defines the equilibrium state of the system, thermal systems, that is known as thermodynamic state of variables. So as I've told you that the macroscopic properties like temperature, volume, pressure, mass, compositions, etc. defines the equilibrium state of the system, any thermodynamic systems, and then these parameters are known as thermodynamic state of variables, which defines completely the equilibrium state of any thermodynamic system. So I think this is clear to you. Now what is the equation of state? The equation which relates these parameters, these thermodynamic variables is known as equation of state. Like in case of ideal gas, as you know that the equation of state is PV equal to nRT. Means it relates the its variable, means variables can be also independent or dependent. It didn't matter, means they can be dependent also. That means all the quantities should not be independent. They can be related with some equations like this. So here n is the number of molecules, r is gas constant, and p is pressure, v is volume, and t is absolute temperature. So I think the equation of state is clear to you, simple, which relates the thermodynamic variables is known as equation of state, and thermodynamic variables are those which are necessary to specify completely the equilibrium state of any thermodynamic system. Now thermodynamic variables are of basically are of two types. First is intensive variable and second is extensive variable. Intensive thermodynamic variables and extensive thermodynamic variables. So these means first is extensive thermodynamic variables are those variables which changes with the change in size of the system. Means if there is change in size of the system takes place, then they will change automatically, means they will change with according to it. But intensive variables are those which do not change their property, their value with the change in size of the system. For example, let us suppose that we are making two part of any thermodynamic system, and in starting it will have P pressure P, volume B, temperature T, and mass M, density rho. So in this case simple, as you know that volume, mass, these quantities will be changed if we will make two part of the thermodynamic system, means its value will be just half. But also internal energy of the system will change, but the value of pressure, temperature, and density, this will be same for previous state, and after the partition that will be also same for the two of the states. Means these states, these quantities, pressure, temperature, density, these will not change with the change in the size of the system. So these are called the intensive variable, and the quantity which changes with the size with the change in size of the system is known as extensive variable, like volume and mass and energy are known as extensive variables. So I think what is thermodynamic variable and how many types of variables are those is now clear to you. These quantities are the property of the system. This will not change with the change in the size of the system, and these are the property of these are the properties of the system, but they will change with the size of the system. Now let's see what is some process or some states. Like as I told you, equilibrium state. What is equilibrium state? I will tell you. Like in the same manner, we can say what is cyclic process. So these are some small definitions which will be useful to understand the thermodynamic process to you. So what is cyclic process? By name it is clear that it is any process which will be cyclic, means it will have some cycle, means from some point it will be started and it will its final and initial point will be same. Simple. It's very simple thing. Suppose that if some any state A is converted into B and again B is converted into A, then we will get, means if there is no change in its mass and other property, in the similar manner, if this process is reversible, then its initial and final states are same, then this process is known as cyclic process. So in cyclic process, it will goes to the so many process, means suppose that from here any cycle is starting, and in the same here so many reactions and so many processes are taking place, but when it return back to its own initial position, then if the final value of variables, thermodynamic variables, are same as the initial value, so means pressure, volume, temperature, density and other quantities are if the same as the initial value, then this process is known as cyclic process. So I think definition of cyclic process is clear to you. If any process, any quantity will be changed here, then process will not be cyclic in that case. Means if initial and final value of variables will be same, then process will said to be cyclic process. Means it depends on the initial and final value only. It doesn't depend on the factor that through which process it is going on. Only if both the initial and final points are same, then process will be cyclic. The similar manner, suppose that this process, same cyclic process, is done in done in different states. Suppose we have to change some matter A into B, or A into suppose that B. Okay, we have to change it. So suppose to change A into D, first A is changing into B, then B is changing into C, after that C is changing into D. Means in the process of changing from A to D, we are seeing that there are two more processes. For one is from A to B, second is B to C, and third is C to D. So then these additional processes which helps to complete the process are known as quasi-static process. Means if the process will take in part by part to complete its reaction or to complete its work, then this process is known as quasi-static process. So I think means it is the process which is completing not in the in sudden in one sort. It is complete. It is going to complete in so many sorts. Means after resting some time, it is completing like that. That's why we known as this quasi-static. So I think, and all the quasi-static systems will be in thermal equilibrium also. Means A will be in thermal equilibrium, B will be C. Means this process will be in thermal equilibrium, and they will change in such a manner that our final value we can obtain with the number of processes. So that processes are known as quasi-static processes. So I think what is quasi-static process and what is cyclic process, these small definitions are now clear to you. What is intensive, extensive variables, these are now clear to you. Here one more thing I want to tell you, point function and path function are what. So what is point function and what is path function, or simple we can also say that point variable and path variable. So the variables which depends on only its final and initial value are known as point function. Like I told you, in the case of cyclic process, if the value of temperature, pressure, volume are only means initial value of temperature, pressure, volume is same as the final value of initial final value of temperature, pressure, volume, it means that between the system, between this process, there can be change in the temperature, pressure and volume of the system, but finally temperature, pressure, volume is same as the initial. Then these variables are known as point function. Means these are only depending on the initial and final position. They are not dependent on the process through which or the path through which they are taken. So these variables will be known as point function. Next, path function. The variables which depends on the path through which we are going to make any reaction. Suppose that if we are going from one point A to B, then to go from A to B, here there can be so many paths we can take. So as we are seeing that this path is different, this path distance is different, this is different. So obviously work done from going to A to B, there will be different work done in that. So here will be work done, here will be less, here will be greater than this, here will be the more greater than this. Means the work if you will calculate it here, that will be different in the different processes. Suppose that if in this same the process, if A is changing into D, so if A is changing directly into D, or if A is taking this process, so in this process there will be more work done than the if it is changing from directly from A to D. So work is depending on the path through which the reaction is going on. Means it depends on the path through which we are doing the reactions, or we are seeing the reaction. So this will be known as path function. So simple path function is path functions are those functions which depends on the process through which they are taking. Similarly, if you will measure heat in this process and this process, that will be different. So heat will be also path function. Means some variables can be only dependent on initial and final position, and some variable will be dependent on the path through which reaction is taking on, or simple thermodynamic reactions are taking on. So I think point function and path function concept is now clear to you. So if this is clear to you, then in next class let's see the law of thermodynamics, and also what is the equation for adiabatic process, isothermal process, or let's see all these things in the next class. So for today, let's end the class here. Thank you guys.